When I reach 1000 subscribers I will be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card away. To enter, like, subscribe and leave a comment below. Posted by you/Egdapin around. EM threatens my own mom at baseball. Do I have a story for you? First, obligatory, I speak English, but I suck at spelling anyways. Second, there will be no TL. Doctor, since the story won't make sense with it. Now onto the story. Both my brothers play baseball for the city. The teams range from 13 to 17-ish year olds. Now, since there is a rule that parents must work at least 2 days out of the season in concessions. Yeah, I know, the place you get that good baseball food, and my mom was unable at the time due to sciatica nerve issues. So when a worker came and asked for help, I popped up for my mom. I immediately know who the Karen is. She didn't have the haircut, didn't have the tone, or anything like that, but you knew she was entitled. However, that wasn't how I learned she was entitled. I learned by simply walking into the concession stand, and she was in the middle of a rant about how her kid wasn't doing what he was supposed to. This Karen, instead of treating her child like the grace of God, treated him like shit. Well, I made it a point to ignore her for the whole time, and made it through. Here's the thing though, she never showed back up. I had to work all of her turns at concessions, while she sat in her car throughout the entire game. Which I didn't mind cause I got free food and got to interact with people, which is usually difficult for me. Now skip to the middle of the season. My mom and I are watching my brothers play their game when the coach has his daughter, let's call her Ed, take the place of a player who was sick that day and couldn't show up. I hadn't realized that Karen was sitting behind us until she started loudly complaining about Red playing in the game. My mom told me later that day, after the game, that she almost came unglued and snapped at the lady. Skip to tonight. Karen made the biggest mistake. My brother's team had won the championship. Everyone was excited and happy. All the parents came down for pictures, except Karen, who had come down later. After watching all the parents take their photos, I was taking a picture of one of my brother's teammates, who was holding the championship trophy, the plaque the coach got, and the teammate's own trophy. I hadn't realized it until I heard my mom do the voice. That voice no child ever wants to hear. And even at 18, I'm still terrified of that voice. Apparently I was in Karen's way of getting a picture of the team and she started loudly complaining and had apparently told me to move while I wasn't paying attention. While my mom was next to her, crosswords were said, and as the coaches carefully led my mom away so she wouldn't have to deal with the stress, Karen says the worst thing possible to my mother. She calls her a redneck. Now for context, I live in the South. Being called redneck isn't necessarily a bad thing, unless you grew up where my mom did. We all know those neighborhoods. The ones no one wants to be caught at alone. The ones where there are unspoken rules and those unlucky few who wander in and just so happen to break a rule get completely fucked up. My mom lived in between two of these neighborhoods, and was adopted by both of them. However, the most significant one is what she referred to, and it was the worst in the entire city. Chisholm. Pronounced Chisholm. My mom, through the pain it caused her to turn the way she did, said I ain't no goddamn redneck, but I can show you a Chisholmite. Chisholmites are children who grew up in that particular area and knew how to fuck you up if need be. Lady then screams that she is going to be contacting my mom's job and my mom laughs and says bitch I'm off store hours, try me. As it turns out, Karen causes absolute hell for the employees at the gas station my mom manages every single morning. There's even talk about banning her, but IDK if my mom is allowed to do that or not. I come to find out later that she had been berating her son, who I learned wasn't even her son. She was his guardian or grandma or something, throughout the whole game. I'm gonna call him TT as a hard-working player on my brother's team, and is the best pitcher they have. He's amazing. But Karen berates him at every little thing he does. To the point he was in tears in the dugout. Little hut for players to chill out in, if you don't know. Almost all throughout the championship game. Poor kid couldn't even enjoy that his team had won. My mom, the coaches, and even other parents get so concerned when we see him leave with that woman, because God knows what happens behind closed doors if she's that bad in public. My mom even said, I hate to say it, but with how she acts I'm worried she's going to kill that poor boy. It's not like we can do anything about though. We don't have any proof of abuse to really get authorities involved. She could easily play it off as I'm a baseball crazy mom and I just get a little too excited. I honestly wish I could do more for T. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Posted by u/generectinagername. EM tries to take my brand new $150 bowling ball because I was doing well and then expects free lessons when I say no. I'm a bowling noob and a child BTW. So just recently I got into bowling. It's just fun. I also recently got my own ball made to fit my hand. It is made of a specific material to hook more and it cost $150 bucks. So the other day I was on fire. For me personally, and compared to most casual bowlers, but in terms of other people who bowl regularly I was doing alright. Just saying. I had bowled a 152, 136, 125, and 185, which is my best game ever, in my first 4 games, and there was a family of like 5 to 6, 2 parents, a girl who was like 6, another girl who was like 9, and a boy who was around 13, when it all happened. Now, whenever someone asks oh how can I do better, you are doing really well. I'm being super humble right now, I know. I'm always glad to give advice to help out. Curl your hand back, do this on your approach, aim the ball here, and release this way. That kind of thing. The bowling balls the house gives you are made of plastic, and don't hook. The balls the pros use are made of resin or urethane, and those grip the lane so they hook. The ball I had bought is made of resin. I had bowled my 185 when it all happened. EK1. 6-year-old. EK2. 9-year-old. EK3. 13-year-old. EM. Entitled Mom. CD. Chill Dad. M. Manager. Me. And so it begins. EK3. Wow, you are really good at that. Me. Thanks. I just got into bowling. It's just practice. EK1 and 3. Can you show us how to do that? EK2 didn't really care. Me. Yay, sure. Grab the balls you are using and come over here. This is when EM comes in. EM. Hold on. Since you have been doing so well with your ball, can they use that? Me. Sorry, I just got that ball and I would rather not have strangers touch it. Plus, it is 14 pounds. That is way too heavy for them. And it's drilled specifically to fit my hand, so it won't even fit them. EM. Oh, don't worry about that, they will do fine. Go grab the ball, sweetie. Me. No. It's my ball. I'm happy to give pointers, but they aren't touching my ball. EM. Oh, come on. You can clearly afford another one. Just give it to them. Me. No, it's not happening. I just bought this ball, and it won't even fit them. EM. Fine. Go on, kids. I'll pick you up in an hour after your lesson. Me. WTF. Why do you think I'm giving them a lesson? And how much would you pay? CD. Honey, stop. Leave this kid alone. And let's enjoy the rest of our day. EM whispers. Shush honey, I know how to deal with shitstins like this. EM. Well, I figured, since you wouldn't give them the ball, you would give them a lesson. And you offered anyway. Me. No. I offered to give them like 1 or 2 pointers. That is very different than a lesson. EM. Voice starting to raise. Listen here, kid. My kids dream to be in the PBA one day. EK1 and 3 were wearing NBA jerseys and Chicago Bulls socks. So you will give them this lesson? Or do you want to crush a child's dreams? Me. No, I don't want to do that. I'm just new to bowling. Your oldest child is only 2 years younger than me, and you won't pay me. Hell no, I'm not giving them a lesson or my bowling ball. EM. Then give us the bowling ball. You are making my children jealous. Then the kids start to cry, and the dad is trying to calm them down. Im proceeds to walk over to the ball return, pick up my ball, and put it in my ball bag while walking away. Me, manager. Me and the manger at the bowling alley are chill since I'm there all the time. I know his name, but I'm not gonna say it for obvious reasons. M. Ma'am, you need to return that kid's ball now. EM. This isn't his ball. This is my ball. He is trying to steal it. M. No, it is his ball. He isn't here all the time with it. I know it is his. Give it back, or I will call the police. EM. Fine. But I want a full refund. M. No. EM. Then I just won't pay. M. It's the post-pay system. You gave us your card number, and we charge you for the games, even if you leave without coming up to us. EM. Thanks for ruining our day, you little shit. This is your last chance. Give my kids lessons or I will keep your ball. Me. I won't be doing either. EM. Fine. Say goodbye to your ball. M. Security. Security comes in and takes the ball from the M. She freaks out and the family gets banned and I get 5 free games. Manager apologizes. Thanks for reading. Edit. A commenter pointed out that the kids aren't entitled, and he was right, the kids were chill. Also, here is the link to my ball. https://mcflip.com/i/35igme. Posted by u/al16 gaming. Life as a pet store worker. Hey guys. Long time lurker. First time Reddit poster, so please bear with me for any structural mistakes. Only just got enough karma to post this as well. First off, the generics. I'm not on mobile and English is my first language. However, I suck at spelling, so please bear with me with mistakes. So I'm from the UK, and, as the title mentions, I work in a large pet store chain. UK readers will know the one. Within this chain we get a lot of stuck up, entitled and just damn right rude people come through our doors, as you could imagine. As for entitled parents, they tend to hang around the animals for the free petting zoo. So I have had a few entitled parents come to me in the years I have been there. These are just my 2 favorite ones I have encountered. General cast, so won't take more of your time to explain it. Whilst helping a customer with collar and leads for their dog, I get a slight tug on my top, and when I turn around, there is Ep and her kids. I didn't think much of it at first, so I try to be polite as usual. EP, excuse me, can my kids hold a rabbit please? Me, sure. However, I'm just with this customer at the moment. If you don't mind waiting a minute, I can come help you. Otherwise, if you head to the till, a colleague, our term for staff member, will come help you quicker. EP, no, the line is too long for me to wait, and I have been waiting for an hour. I watched her walk in like 5 minutes ago. Can you not just come get one out now and go back to the gentleman? Me, I'm sorry ma'am, we are not allowed to leave you alone with a pet. I shouldn't be too long, so please bear with me. At this point I knew she was angry, and after reading these posts for months on end I thought to myself, oh no, here comes the screaming banshee. What took me by surprise is that she only really huffed, mumbled. Teenagers these days are just lazy. I was 20 at the time, and stormed out dragging her kids away. After she left, the gentleman I was helping before turned to me and said, and makes me laugh whenever I think about this story, someone is obviously menstruating right now. I chuckle, carry on with the gentleman, and help him leave with a smile. 2. Of the few years I have worked for the pet store, I spend a lot of time with fish. I'm very passionate about fish, and try to learn everything I can from books, videos and just other people. One thing we pride ourselves is our process of fish selling. During this process, fish tanks have to be set up for at least 3 days and be treated with tap safe before any fish can go into the tank. And we also have to make sure that the tank is big enough for the fish that is wanted as well. So on this particular day I was cleaning our tanks in store, general algae cleaning and gravel siphoning, when I have 2 ladies and their kids walk up to me. The conversation is the following. EP, excuse me. Me, hi there, can I help you? EP, finally, I've been here for 5 minutes and you have been ignoring me. Literally just walked up to the fish tanks. Me, I'm sorry, how can I help? EP, can I have 4 of these? Points to our small pond goldfish. Me, okay. How big is your tank? EP, it's this one. Pulls out an effing cocktail fish bowl. Me, no. I'm very blunt when it comes to fish, and I'm respected for it in store by customers as well. EP, what? Why not? Me, well, for starters, that isn't a fish tank. EP, yes it is. It says so on the label. See. Me, no, it's a cocktail glass called a fish bowl. You can get them at clubs full of drink for like £15. Secondly, even if it was, it does not have a filter, so you have no way of keeping the water clean. Thirdly, as posted all around the fish section, you need the tank set up for at least 3 days beforehand. And finally, the fish in question are pond goldfish. They can grow to around 40 centimeters in length, and you want 4 in that? EP, who cares about that? They are only fish, they only live for like 2 years anyway, just get us to then. Me, actually I care, and fish, if kept in correct condition can live up to 20 years, sometimes even more, so you are not getting any. EP, well look what you have done, you've made my kid cry. Note, the kid was fast asleep so in no way would have been crying. Me, your kid is fast asleep ma'am, he definitely is not crying. Ep, well you are gonna make him cry when we get home, and he realized he has no fish. Me, well maybe you should have got a tank a few days ago and got some fish today. After this, she stormed off. I carried on until my manager came up to me and said that a lady has complained about me and wanted to know why. I explained the whole thing and he just chuckled and said maybe next time be a bit more polite. Oh well. Edit. Thanks guys for the positive feedback. This post exploded quicker than I thought. To those asking about the store I'm in, just for basic legal reasons I won't specify the store name etc. I hope you guys understand. Also yes I know the menstruation part is very sexist and I understand. If people are upset with this part, please do understand that I laughed at this and still do, purely because this came out of nowhere from the gentleman and he did not seem like the sort of gentleman to make this joke, so he caught me off guard. Posted by u/Tleruk. Your kid cannot race in adult karts. I'm adding my 2 cents here about an entitled father. Bit long sorry. I work in a go-karting environment. We have a height requirement rather than an age in 2 types of karts. The place I work at also pushes its family-friendly environment and pushes for people to bring their kids. Since there is bowling, bar, and an arcade, all had to be paid for, nothing free. All our pricing is the same for the kids and adults and it's a bit on the expensive side, but the time limits for the karts are reasonable for the adult karts' speed and weight compared to other competitors. I always hear people complain about the pricing and comparing it to another competitor facility nearby, an electric kid go-kart place, we are guess, as they had cheaper prices and longer racing time. But another place had the same karts as us and was more professional setting, had shorter race time and higher prices. Anyhow, these go-karts have no safety in them. You wear a seatbelt and helmets, kids wear neck braces, but there is not off switch and we could not control the speed or switch the karts off. It's all the driver's ability. Like I said before, we have a height requirement, but these are not roller coasters. This dad came in with his son. His kid, I don't really remember him. He didn't say anything and didn't push for anything. We're in a racing city, so we have plenty of kids who race who do not make the height requirement, but have proven to management they can control a kart either though 1. Camp we hold, 2. Take our racing school, where our manager teaches them how to race, or 3. Show us by their continuous racing and relationship with our higher ups they can control the kart. Sometimes we have kids who come in and talk well and look like they can control a kart. One time a British family of sprint kart racers for example, and I wouldn't mind putting them on, but I can't because they didn't make any of the requirements. This dad came in, it was a busy weekend, they've never raced with us before, kid didn't make the requirement at all. So I informed the dad they are more than welcome to race, but his son would race with other kids in the kid karts. The average speed karts weight about 100 pounds and go around 25 miles per hour. If taken full speed most kids put both feet on the gas and brake, so it doesn't usually do that, while the dad could race with other adults. We have 2 tracks, but youth karts on only on one, while the adults are on both. The one track with both usually races a different karts at different times. On a slow day we could do a race where we put family members on the same track at the same time in different karts, so the kid and dad could race together. But we cannot do this on a busy day, because then all the families coming in would want to do it and take up our time, because we cannot have multiple families on the track at the same time, because of safety of the kids. Adult karts weigh 200 without a person in them and can go top speed of 45 miles per hour. An adult kart can flip a youth kart and go on top of it, making it dangerous to do. No roll cage either. I explained this to the dad. He was more than welcome to race today, not with his son. or buy the races on sale that day and come back on a weekday where we would most likely be less busy and more than welcome to race with his son. Dad didn't like this. He went up to our measuring on the wall and put his kid to the wall and literally measured with his fingers. "You're saying this amount will affect my son driving?" I was annoyed. I've almost been hit by adults in adult carts. My coworker had a hairline skull fracture from being hit by a cart. I've seen a kid flip a cart on top of a wall. I've seen my other coworker almost lose both his legs if he wasn't fast enough to jump over a wall from a go-kart. These things are not toys. They aren't kiddie. I've seen kids and adults get into a cart and never hit a brake and rip concrete anchors up from concrete, break thousands of dollars in cart parts. Yes, it matters. I do not know you or your kid. I put your kid in an adult cart. 1. He would need assistance of seat inserts and foam blocks to even hit the gas and brake. And 2. Would need the strength to even move a wheel fast enough to control a cart. And 3. Have the common sense of hitting the brake and gas when to so not hit the damn wall. I said no. He asked for manager. Manger told him the same thing I did. Dad left pissed. Edit. I'd like to add, the height to normally touch the pedals is 4 foot 10 inches, 58 inches tall. For the adult go-karts, I can have shorter people drive, with the addition of seat inserts and such. Again, for previous experiences with us ensuring their control. Insurance is also a fun factor in all this as well. I'd like to also make a point to express the many injuries we've had. Broken ribs, broken ankle, broken arms, whiplash, coworker getting hit and resulted in his hairline fracture on his skull, and he got hit by a child in an adult cart who had previous experience with us and was somewhat irregular, who should have known what he was doing. I've seen many coworkers narrowly dodge getting both their legs broken by jumping up and over the go-karts. I've almost been hit numerous times. We expect to get hit in the youth carts. They don't wait that much and go too terribly fast. I've been hit by youth carts. It's the adult carts that make us all a bit nervous. When I reach 1,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a $25 Amazon gift card away. To enter, like, subscribe and leave a comment below.